Good morning, my wild and beautiful friends. Thanks so much for coming by. Today we're testing out some decadent vegan hot chocolate bombs. Keep on watching to see how we make them. These luscious little flavor bombs seem to be breaking the internet, so I thought I'd give it a try myself with my own little recipe. I've got 2 bars of this endangered species forest mint dark chocolate bar. I find that this is cheaper than buying vegan chocolate chips, plus it's got a really subtle, nice peppermint flavor. This is my favorite bar that they have, so I'm going to use 2 bars here. I'm going to break them up and melt them in a double boiler. You can definitely do this in the microwave as well. I'm hoping this will give us just the right amount of chocolate to fill our little sphere bomb molds. So I pulled off our chocolate as soon as it's almost melted and then stirred it around until everything's nice and creamy and mixed together, like so. And then I've got this cute little sphere mold. I found this on Amazon. They're a little trickier to come by these days since hot chocolate bombs seem to be all the rage. I'm a little late to the game, I know. So I'm just taking a teaspoon of this melted chocolate and pouring it into each cavity here. And then I'm going to take the back of my spoon and kind of just push up all that melted chocolate on the sides to try to coat the whole half sphere evenly. If you end up with a little excess chocolate, you can definitely dump it out into that bowl. We're going to do 2 coats just to make sure it's nice and solid. And once everything's coated and I've dumped out any of that extra that pools in the bottom, I'm going to throw these in the freezer for about 5 minutes until they harden up, and then we're going to do a second little coat just to make sure our edges are nice and thick. So you've got some spots that definitely need a little bit more chocolate. So we're going to do the same exact thing. The nice thing about this second coat is our chocolate's so cold that it kind of helps this second layer adhere where you'd like it. So just kind of move it around with the spoon. You can also use a pastry brush. Get it nice and even and then pop it back in the freezer. I did find with this batch, you'll see as I pop them out of their molds, that if you don't put them on something soft, it can kind of take on the shape of what you lay it on. So a couple of these took on the shape of our freezer grate, which is no big deal. We can decorate that right out, but if you want or can, put it on like a soft dish towel or something so it keeps that really pretty sphere shape. I'm just going to pop this back in the freezer one more time for about 5 minutes and our little half spheres will be set. Here we are, nice and hardened. And I'm just going to, I like to pull around the edges when I use these silicone type molds. Loosens it a bit and then you can kind of push with your finger from behind to pop it on out. Look how beautiful that is. Nice and shiny. No holes, good thing. So I'm just going to pop the rest of these out and we'll start filling and putting our molds together. Okie dokie guys, let's talk fillings for our hot chocolate bombs. You can of course make your own hot chocolate mix. I have a pretty simple recipe I will link below, but I found this organic drinking chocolate mix at Natural Grocers. It was quite inexpensive. It's super delicious, and for ease of the recipe, I'm just going to use that today. I also, of course, found some vegan marshmallows because what's a hot chocolate bomb without a giant explosion of vegan marshmallows, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill one of our half spheres with about half of that hot chocolate mix. And then I'm going to top it with as many vegan marshmallows as I possibly can fit without it toppling over. Before we poured that in, I just took our sphere and swirled it around on this hot pan to get it nice and melty. You can see around the edges how it's glistening. Then with the other half, I'm going to do the same thing just for a couple quick seconds. It melts really quickly. And that's going to glue our little sphere together so we have an entire hot chocolate bomb. Super simple. Now this is when you go crazy. Like on the inside of your hot chocolate bomb, if you want to add some more mint, like peppermint pieces, some sprinkles, things that will explode and flavor your hot chocolate, go for it. I'm keeping it a little simple because I really like the flavor of that subtle mint in those endangered species chocolate bars. So don't worry at all, like I said before, if you have a little bit of a dent in your hot chocolate bomb, or like this first one, you can see I patched it up a little bit with some melted chocolate. The edge started to crack a little before I put it together. Because we're going to take the remainder of our melted chocolate and we're going to just drizzle it over the top and decorate with some sprinkles, or you can use some more peppermint candy. You could even put a couple of those marshmallows on top and they're just going to look so beautiful so easily. So I decided to use some white sprinkles, and then I picked out some of the red sprinkles from my little vegan mix that I used on those root beer cookies that we made in the last video. I'll link that video above and below as well. Super yummy. A little bit of a twist on a Christmas cookie. So for hot chocolate purposes, I prefer to do hot water and steamed soy milk mixed together. I find if I do just hot plant milk, it gets a little too creamy and rich for me, but you do you. Heat up whatever kind of milk you want to use, or water. I'm going to plop one of these beautiful hot chocolate bombs into my big mug here and pour in that soy milk and water mixture. Ooh, it's starting to break open. I realize that I should not have added that foam. You can't see how fun of an experience it is. You can see it bubbling though. It's starting to break open here. We're just going to start stirring it up and let all that cocoa mix release. Let that peppermint chocolate get nice and melty. We got some marshmallows going on here and sprinkles. I had a thought as I was mixing this. I think that these hot chocolate bombs would be amazing with some instant coffee as well. Make a little decadent Christmassy latte mocha situation. So of course we're going to top it with a ton more marshmallows because 'tis the season, right? And some sprinkles, and I'm going to enjoy this gorgeous little hot chocolate, gorgeous giant hot chocolate with my little olive and a nice book. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers!